All right, well, I will go ahead and kick it off and get this thing rolling so we can dive into some of the marketing options that we have with Forsage. I mean, and that, of course, you can use in general, right? Because there are only so many ways to get the word out. And yeah, we're going to talk about a few of them here. So, and because, I mean, of course, Forsage is such a powerful system, and a lot of people are waking up to the fact, like a lot of good things. I mean, it takes time. We've only been, what, 2 months now into, or is it 2.5 months, around 2.5 months that the contract, that it launched. And so we've got, a lot of people who are just coming on board or finding out about it. And it's only just the beginning. I think we just crossed over, it's over 2.5 million. And of course, Ethereum, based on the value of Ethereum, I mean, it's gone up a little bit in the last like 24 hours. So I'm sure we're up into the 2.8 million or so worth of Ethereum that's already been paid out. So we are well on our way. You guys have made a good decision. Well, for one, to be here on the call. And for those of you guys who've already joined the program, you know what I mean. And yeah, so I'm going to help as best I can to bring some of these things to the table with respect to getting the word out. So let's dive on into this Forsage marketing webinar. So we'll keep it simple. I don't want to get too deep. I'm not going to go into a seminar, so to speak, but we'll talk about the basics of what is marketing. All right. So I'm sure most of us already know, but I'll go ahead and read through a Wikipedia definition of what marketing is. Marketing is the study and management of exchange relationships. It's the business process of identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customers' needs and their wants. And because marketing is used to attract customers, it is one of the primary components of business management and commerce. All right, straight from Wikipedia. So moving on, let's go ahead and talk about the strategies with which we have at our disposal to use. All right, so number one, we all have the word of mouth ability. Now, some of us are more, comfortable talking about a program or just in general, like myself, I can run my mouth a pretty good bit. But everyone has their own niche. Some people are, very comfortable, as I said, with talking to either their friends. Maybe it is, maybe there's a group of friends that you feel, super comfortable with. And then there's friends that you may not want to talk to, this about, but you also have family, right? We have family members that we, of course, some of the family members out there, how should I say? Well, again, there's a lot of criticism. I understand how it is talking with family members. They can be some of your biggest critics when it comes to sharing, especially passive income platforms, right? But keep that in mind. I mean, of course, that's one of the outlets that we can use word of mouth for. Colleagues, whether they are people that you work with, whether they are people at school, right? Maybe just people that you are on a regular basis seeing these people. They're not necessarily your friends, but they may be colleagues, as I said here, that you see on a regular basis. And then, of course, associates in general, whoever it might be. It could be your neighbors. It could be people that you see at the grocery store on occasion. There's so many different categories of people, right, to get the word out. And of course, right now, I mean, it's pretty well established that people are going through a dire straits with respect to this global downturn, right? Because of course, so many people, we're into the 20 some, I think it's around 20 million something people just in the United States that I've heard have filed for unemployment. And it doesn't seem like this is going to be rolling back. And if they were to put the brakes on this thing tomorrow, there's still a lot of people who are down and out and looking for passive income or just income in general, because this isn't necessarily passive income. I mean, we know that that's a byproduct of Forsage, but this is it's a marketing system that really has the legs and the stability that, again, this is what makes it so exciting. that it actually works as it is advertised to do. So, you know, and just, yeah, keep that in mind. Like, seize the opportunity. People are primed to listen. Okay. Because again, as I said, so many people are down and out already, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better before, you know, this thing starts to roll back. So you have to take advantage of this word of mouth, because people are listening, all right, more than they ever have before. All right, so moving on, we're going to talk about some examples, right, to kind of open the conversation. But you first want to be sure that you can explain what you're talking about. I mean, one of the worst things is, you know, having somebody approach you and then they can't articulate what it is that they are trying to share with you, right? They're babbling about what they think it is, and they can't quite explain, like, you know, from point A to point B, how that works. So of course, make sure that you take the time out to study how Forsage works. I mean, there's a variety of content, whether it's a PowerPoint presentation like this, whether it is a video that you've seen that someone has shared with you, a YouTube video, whether or not it is, again, just something that you can go to and learn by watching it. And, you know, if it's a, you know, like with a book or even a movie, the more times that you see it, the more you get out of it. There's no doubt about that, right? So the other thing to keep in mind is to keep it simple, all right? Don't get overly chatty about what this product is and what, you know, the potential, the future, and blah, blah, blah. Just open a simple conversation, all right? So I've got some conversation starters just to kind of go through some scenarios, what you might find yourself in a situation, and you know, and when you're talking to someone, you might ask them, hey, have you ever heard about these people out here that are earning a living from Bitcoin, from cryptocurrencies? There are definitely many, many, many people now who are becoming aware, or who have long been aware of Bitcoin when it first launched in 2011, I think, or so 2010 maybe, perhaps even before that. So it's been around for a while, and there are people who were wise enough to see the writing on the wall, and they got involved and are doing very well just living from cryptocurrencies and the different things that they've been able to do with it. Another thing that you might say, if you're already earning a income, you might, with this, again, situation that's happening in the world, if you're already earning, you might want to say something like, fortunately, you know, I'm not too stressed out about things because I'm earning a substantial income passively online. And that's something that it really is a situation for many, many people, right? So again, many people are interested in starting their own business. They just don't know how to go about it. And again, this time is so important that many people are very much opening their eyes and their ears to situations that they may not have normally allowed themselves to be open to. So, you know, asking, have you ever wanted to start your own online business with no overhead cost, little to no overhead cost? And another example, just in general, explaining to people, you know, coming from a place of authority, telling people how important it is to be sure they have multiple income streams, right? That they don't have just that one source, that one job, so that if they lose their job, they're sitting there down and out and wondering what to do. When you have multiple income streams, if one engine fails, there's other engines that are humming in the background, ready to take the place of the one that seized up. All right, so keep that in mind. These are just, you know, what I figured could be, you know, some kind of an example that you may, of course, everyone's going to have their own way of approaching their friends or their neighbors, like I said, or people at work. And this is, yeah, easy conversation starters. All right, so let's talk about number 2, another marketing approach that some people are already well-versed in, okay? Because we have people that are coming into Forsage that already have businesses. They already have a contact base of people that have already subscribed to the business that they're doing. And so they already have a strong email list. And even, of course, with our own friends or, again, family and associates, we have a variety of emails. But of course, you have to be careful with bulk spamming people. You have to, this is something that you want to be sure that you look up and find out what the regulations are, in terms of policies for not spamming people. You have to have a certain etiquette naturally when it comes to sending people, something that you've heard about that you think is good, and so on and so forth. But you want to make sure that you're not in that you don't want to find yourself spamming. And again, keep it simple. When you make these email campaigns, don't draw out some long, diary style email, right? We're going to keep it simple with a well-defined message about what it is that you're sharing with them. And again, you want to grab their attention with maybe some pictures or something that opens up the email and brings their attention on to what it is that you're trying to share with them, right? And of course, be creative, but at the same time, be conservative. As I said, don't get too complex with your email campaigns, right? You might want to just send something out that, again, like I said, has a picture. It has a few lines of text, if even that, and then maybe a button that already has it might be your link, right? It might be, you might have created a button that says, well, subscribe or find out more, something along those lines. So I've got a few examples from companies that most of us are pretty familiar with. Here's one from Uber, right? So whether or not this person had likely they had already subscribed, right? Of course, most of us, when you go to your mobile app, you might have to put in your email, and then you say okay, right, to some email subscription. And most of us do this all the time, right? You hit okay, no problem, send me the email, and they'll send something like this to you, right? So they're just trying to share with you some of the deals that they have. Make sure that you get your, don't forget to lock in 28 days of low fares with your ride pass, whatever it might be. Another example, Airbnb. Most of us are familiar with that. Here's one, again, it's really simple. Not even any pictures in this. I mean, again, we've got just a few lines of text explaining to them that, hey, we hope you're enjoying your stay, about whatever it says here. And then, are you okay taking a quick 2-minute survey, right? So again, just something simple. It doesn't have to be super complex, especially when you're trying to share something like this opportunity to bring themselves out of a financial, and not that everyone is trying to come out of a bad financial situation. You may have people that are just simply, like I said, looking for multiple or an alternate income stream. So, but again, another one from Starbucks, one that, they are sharing with their customers something of, what does it say about, we're glad you're here. Sorry, the text is pretty small. Now that you're a Starbucks insider, you'll be among the first to hear about upcoming coffee news and promotions. Just something really simple. They've got a picture there with the coffee cup, some text on top of it. And most of us have, if you want to create these kind of pictures on your own, there are a lot of free apps on your phone where you can just, you take your picture and then you can then paste some type of text with a variety of, whether it's a title, a heading, whatever it might be, that you can have these different options of putting text on top of a picture and just getting straight to the point about what it is that we're sharing. And of course, in this case, we're sharing Forsage. So let's move on. And the one that's all dear to most of us, social media. And I think most of us have had some experience with this. If you're not comfortable talking with people, if you're not comfortable, well, at least in a one-on-one situation, if you're not too well-versed at doing those email campaigns, and all of those are, those are great ways to get the message out, but social media is the easiest because there are so many options, right? We've got Facebook. Everyone's got a Facebook account. Everyone in this call guaranteed has a Facebook account. There's very little chance that someone doesn't have a Facebook account that's on this call. Twitter, another one that's well loved by many. I actually was on Twitter and then took a hiatus for a while. I've done that with Facebook as well too, but It's obviously a great source of getting your word, or not your word, but your message out to people, things that are on your mind, whatever it might be. Another one, Instagram, right? This is popular, very popular among maybe the younger crowd. But with that, I mean, we have people coming from all walks of life in the Forsage tree that's starting to grow here. People that are, from the younger, middle-aged to even older crowd that are getting into this. So whatever that might be, there is a social media outlet for you to work with. And then again, another one, a video platform. So many of us have already seen what, this YouTube has the power of getting a video out across to so many people that then allows them to have a it might be a long video, right? Like this is being recorded. Like this particular presentation will go out to hundreds and then thousands of people and eventually it's just like a billboard, as I call it. You have an advertising billboard that's out there all the time. So yeah, and with YouTube, again, it is a very, very powerful medium. The ability to, again, put a 10-minute video together, or even if it's a 30-minute presentation like this, or whatever it might be a full-on hour-and-a-half podcast. But YouTube is a great outlet to get that video content out. And some other ones here, WhatsApp, which is available for, just like all of these others are, they're available for all of your mobile devices, for Android devices and for iOS devices. You can use this one here, WhatsApp. WhatsApp is, I think, also owned, I think, by Facebook as well. Yeah, Facebook owns that, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So, these are all integrated together pretty nicely. So, of course, you can open up an account usually simply they have something in there. If you don't already have WhatsApp, they usually have an option to just use your Facebook account to sign up. So, these are all very, very easy to start with. And then one of my favorites is Telegram, loved and hated by many, but it is a powerful tool. And like WhatsApp, I mean, again, to have these chat feeds that people can share all of the stuff that we're already talking about here. They can share links to Instagram. They can share links to Facebook, or they can share a video that's embedded in the chat feed, and as well with WhatsApp. Again, they both have you have to kind of, see for yourself, but they're different nuances, but they do all bring something to the table. And again, me personally, I mean, I have all of these, right? And there are many others, because in other countries you have, in China, I think it's WeChat that is pretty popular for people there. You also have, I think, Guild Chat, which is one that's maybe popular in the more like the Southern Hemisphere, from what I understand, but it's all over the place, but I think more popular there. Trying to think of some other ones but however, you know what I mean. There are different regions that use different social media applications like this. So yeah, something to consider and dive into it. This is, if you guys want to get this stuff out, you do want to get active with getting all of these. Why not get them all? As I said, I mean, I use them all, and then if I'm going to type up a message like this, I just put this message out. As a matter of fact, I took this screenshot before I even posted it, and just something simple about Forsage: build a perpetual income with Forsage. Who wants to build a business with less than $10, which pays 24 hours or 24/7, again, even while you're sleeping. And members of this business are earning, some people are already, $1,500, $4,000, and even more in just a few weeks' time. And as I already explained, we've gotten to almost $3 million in Ethereum that's been paid out already. So, this is just something simple to put out, and a call to action you can put there. Direct message me for more information. These kind of things, once people, especially as I said now, more than ever, are more likely to take action with this than they would have, let's say, a few months ago. or, you know, whatever the case before they lost their job, right? So don't be afraid to, you know, put these type of things, and you can easily copy paste, you know, from other people maybe that are in your team that have already done these kind of posts. So again, here's another one from Instagram. And again, I'm using examples of my own social media, like I said before, that I have all of these outlets. So I just took snapshots, screenshots of actual posts that I put up. And so here, you know, I just took a screenshot of my mobile. Yeah, I think this is from my mobile device. And I went ahead and just posted it, right? To show people out there that, hey, look, you know, this is happening. You know, I've earned yada, yada, yada. I think this was maybe a week or about a few weeks into my Forsage experience. And, you know, I had already earned nearly $2,000, right? Or depending on what the value was or is or could be of Ethereum at the time. So let's move on. This one is Twitter. So, you know, again, I did a post just a few days ago. And it was, yeah, just something simple, you know, just talking about how this is one of the fastest growing dApps, decentralized applications. Again, for those of you who already know what that is, you know, Forsage is built on a smart contract. So just, you know, giving some of this data, letting people know, as I said before, that it's already 2.5 million in Ethereum, and keeping these simple. I mean, with Twitter, you can only, I think, use 100 and how many characters? I think it's like 250 some odd characters that you can use. So you have to keep it pretty simple with Twitter. And again, here's an example of someone who is, I think they're probably likely on the call, that's in our team. And they were very green to doing any type of content making on YouTube, for example. And they've already, as you can see here, this is Daniela and Steven. I'm sure they don't mind me putting them on blast, giving them a little plug. But they started a YouTube channel and are working as a couple, right? So this is something that's really nice to see, that, you know, that couples can do this together and help support each other in that way when getting this, you know, to share this with their friends, and then working cohesively. You know, they've got a built-in team when they're working together like this. But again, this is actually their video. I think I posted it on my Facebook page or something to that effect. So again, took a simple screenshot of it. And that's that. Yeah, and it's something that, you know, they have already developed a good amount of traffic, and, you know, with people that they've shared it with by doing this kind of stuff. I mean, I have to say, Daniela in particular, she's very, very, very go-getter. She, like I said, started from not knowing how to do any of this stuff to creating a Facebook group, to starting a YouTube channel, to posting on her Instagram channel. Yeah, I mean, like all this stuff, or her Instagram app. And all this stuff is, yeah, it's available for everyone. So there's really no excuses. This is my Telegram. I took a snapshot from earlier. I think this was today or perhaps last night. And again, you know, you can create easily your own group, right? We have this Power Team group that that I'm part of, and we're putting it together. But, you know, we've got this group that this is something that you can share all of the information with each other, help support each other, bring in other people into these sometimes open groups. Maybe they're public, but then you might have a private group, like ours is right now, a private group. So, and again, to make sure that everyone is on the same page, there's no excuse for getting the information out to your team members. And then, you know, this is, as I said, a simple, easy outlet to stay in touch with people and to share content. And then last one, which I already talked about before, as I said, WhatsApp. Very, very popular. Depending on some countries, it's more popular than others, but WhatsApp is pretty popular, I think, in the States, and becoming more popular here where I am in Europe. So that is that, and the integrating all the strategies to succeed, right? So integrating all of these strategies of Forsage, or rather marketing, into, well, how to succeed with Forsage. And so I just show this little graphic here. Again, even something like this PowerPoint presentation, it's a very, you know, graphical type of medium to get the point across, right? To bring all these things together and to show people how we can integrate it all together, right? Again, all these social media outlets, the word of mouth, talking to your friends, again, sending out emails to your subscriber list of whatever subscription list you may have, or rather whatever contacts you might have that have already agreed to receive emails. And we're doing this all for the love of Forsage. All right, so that about wraps it up. And I will give some examples of the things that I talked about as far as setting up an account for people who are completely brand new to starting an account, for example, with Google, or rather with Gmail, right? So if you want to create, and it's simple to do, to create your Gmail account, because everyone who has a Gmail account, you now have access to YouTube, right? In terms of being able to be a content maker. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube account. It's just automatic. Okay, so I guess I can go through a quick, let's see if I can show people. I don't really want to go too deep into this thing. All right, hang on, we'll say Johnny, well, hang on. Johnny Crypto. And something that simple, and let me put in an easy password. Now, of course, I'm not going to actually create an account here, but just going through how easy it is and the fact that there's no excuse. Hang on. Apparently, I am not typing in my password correctly. Well, anyways, sorry, rambling on here and trying to type this in. But so the point is, once you have this created, because I'm not going to actually create an account anyways, but once you do that, once it has been activated, you then have the option, as I said, to start a, if you want to, then start making videos. And it's really, really easy to do. All right, now let me go through, show again people the sign up page for Instagram. For those of you guys who've not already got on Instagram, I mean, it has been well established. I mean, people are moving on to other social media outlets. I mean, there's TikTok, which is super popular. There's Snapchat, which is another one. So there are so many different outlets to go about, getting this kind of social media stuff, which is really the easiest. I mean, I personally prefer to do social media, and really all of those are integrated. As I said before, when you're talking or sending out emails, I mean, social media it pretty much encompasses all of that stuff, right? I mean, you have to, either talk on video, or you have to type out some text when you're sending out something for social media. And yeah, this is just endless with all of the different outlets. So there's really no excuse for people who are wondering, how can I share this? I'm not comfortable talking with people, because yes, some people do come into Forsage expecting, this to just be absolutely passive. I want to be clear to people that this is really more of a marketing, it's a marketing team building based program. Now, the byproduct of that is they do have the X4 side of it, but you do have a better chance of growing, not just a better chance, I mean, clearly a solid opportunity to grow this by just simply using these social media outlets, talking with a friend, sharing your experience, at the dinner table with your family, whatever it might be. And of course, all of us are already on Zoom, so we should know about Zoom, but this is for people that are doing these type of conference calling, and if you have a team and you want to be with the team all together at the same time, everyone has the ability to speak up on the mic or what have you. There's Zoom. All right, so let me show another tool to use, and we'll close up, or rather open up the floor for people who have any questions in particular. Now, this is one that I use for doing YouTube videos, because when you're doing a YouTube video, right, you might want to well, share your screen like we're doing with this call on Zoom. Zoom is great because it's integrated and it does that automatically. We have the option to record the presentation, for example, like we're doing now. And this is a great OBS, open broadcast software. Is available. It's free for everyone. All right, so it's available on Windows, on Mac, even Linux. And so as you can see here, just an on-screen example of effectively you load it up. I mean, of course, it's obviously you should educate yourself as with all things, find out how to use it so you're not stumbling around with the settings too much. But also, as with all things, you do need to get involved. You need to download it, try it out, mess with it. If you mess up, no big deal. You can start over and then get your settings the way that you need the settings to be. But as you can see here, essentially this represents the screen. And once you hit record, you would start the recording. Boom, there you are sharing, well, you haven't shared it yet, but recording a video that will then go on your computer's hard drive. And you can you can put your video there. As you saw, I actually explained this to Stephen and Daniela, and that example that I showed in the presentation of them where they had their camera or they had their picture there in the bottom of the picture. That was something that I explained to them within a 10-minute session. We talked about how to get their OBS set up. So there is that, and yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Let me see here. Let's open up. See all of the beautiful people. And for anyone, yeah, again, as I said, if you have questions in particular that I can answer, or if you have something to share, by all means. And I guess John, if you want to open up or allow people to open up their mics, give them the option to do that. Oh, Richie Rich, what's going on, man? How you doing? I see you over there. We're going to get our and another thing that I like to do is testimonials from the team. That is I guess you can say it actually was an idea brought to me by one of my team members to do testimonials, right? That I upload to my YouTube channel that are very powerful, right? Because it's one thing when my subscribers hear from me all the time, but when they see from other people that have come into the program, for at a week or 2 weeks or whatever the case is, and they can then share their experience. I mean, that was a great, well, it's a series that we're doing, so we're going to keep that moving. But Richard, you are in line, sir, to get that next testimonial video that we're supposed to do. So are there any questions, or does anyone want to speak up, or do we just have this thing on lock? Do I need to release the?
Yeah. So what if somebody sends in their
and is this Clarence right now? Yeah, this is Clarence talking.
Yeah, it's Clarence.
Welcome.
Clarence talking. So I had a friend that sent his wallet into my partner that got me started, and my partner that got me started kind of like he put my money in somebody else's wallet. So like, is it any way to get it back out of that person's wallet? Or
well, I mean, in a situation like that, on a more technical basis, when it comes to the wallets, I mean, now, when you say that they sent it to someone else's wallet, do you know that person whose wallet it was?
No, I don't know, and I don't know if he know either. But
yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, in a situation like that, I mean, it's to be straight up with you, it's gone, because once that money has hit someone's wallet, and if you didn't know them, if they can't, say to you, hey, oh, okay, yeah, I received that money, my bad, I'll go. Well, it's not their bad, but however, then they have to, be upfront and send it back. But that's a situation. If you accidentally, and this is, getting into, like I said, some of the technical parts of cryptocurrencies, you most definitely need to pay attention to what you're doing. As I said before, becoming well-versed, being sure that you understand like things like, when you create, let's say, a MetaMask wallet, to write down those, either the private keys or your seed phrase, right? The 12-word, it's called seed phrase, is that right? Yeah. And you put that aside. Yeah. That's something that people, sometimes they don't do that, right? And then their computer just shuts down and they have a problem. And then there they are. They had, it's like, I had $200 in that MetaMask wallet. Well, it's gone. As simple as that. I mean, again, which is the entire kind of basis for the protection of your money. It's so well protected that you can't even get it back if you lose the private keys, right? Or if you lose, rather not lose the private keys, but if you lose the access to that wallet and you don't have the private
access.
keys, right? But the beautiful thing is that if you do have those private keys with a variety of different cryptocurrency wallets, then you can, even if your computer, you drop it and it's no longer useful, or even if your phone, you drop it in, you drop it somewhere in the water or whatever, it breaks. As long as you have those private keys, you can, on any laptop, on a brand new laptop or an old laptop or whatever the case might be, you put in those keywords into the, of course you have to download the software, right? You download the software that gives a platform to the wallet, and then you put the keys in, boom, you're ready to go. So, but no, that money's gone, man. I'm sorry.
Sorry, man.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, Adam. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, from the UK, England. Yeah, nice to be here. I'm completely, utterly new to this. I'm a total novice. Could you recommend a video that explains the very fundamental of cryptocurrencies and bitcoins? A friend of mine has suggested I watch this. And it's most fascinating, but the more, the less I know, because what exactly are you trading? Are you trading something that's related to genuine real tender? Or
well, when you say trading, I mean, again, we're opening. Actually, let me mute, because we do have some kids in the background. We do love the kids, but we're going to need to mute. Oh, you got it, John? You're going to mute and then open up Adam?
Okay.
I got muted already.
Yeah. Because the more I listen to this, the more confusion it gets, because it's just baffling. It just doesn't seem to me to be tangible. I need to deal in the real world and understand the fundamentals, the dynamics of what's going on. Then I might get more into it. I mean, I love what you're saying. It makes a lot of sense to you. I'm not really of the digital generation. All this is like double Dutch to me. I think my friend's going to send me a video that explains it.
Well, here's the thing, just to try to keep this, because this is, a thing that can be wide, or it's open to a lot of different angles. But at the core of it, there's no shortage of information online. If you were to type in, if you go to YouTube, for example, type in, something as simple as what is cryptocurrency, right? If you just type that into your search bar, you're going to get a variety of videos. I mean, there isn't one that I can think of off the top of my head right now that stands above, all the others. But you also don't want to just get your information from one video. You want to make sure that you are absorbing, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I've lost a lot of money on stocks and shares in the past, and so I don't make the same mistake again. I really need to look at it from all angles. Find out what the risk factors are.
Absolutely.
How much money is involved, etc., etc. I've always been a fairly sort of safe investor, and this is a friend of mine has suggested I do this, which is why I'm doing it. And it's just a new baby to me, and I find it so fascinating. So yeah, I'll do what you said. I'll look at a few videos and try and get a better. Yeah,
you'll find it to be. It is definitely fascinating. I mean, of course, some people come into cryptocurrencies already with a mindset of what they think it is. And then, of course, I mean, it's just like a lot of things in life, right? You can't force someone to understand something if they already have a belief system that holds them back from being able to absorb the information or to take in new information. And this is the key to life, really, in general, is being open to the fact that new information really does open up a lot of doors with respect to your overall understanding of things. So, but again, and not to get too philosophical about stuff, but just that, cryptocurrency it's here to stay. There's no doubt about that. I mean, we have a big Sorry, my son's coming in. You need something? Not right now, kiddo. Sorry. Anyways, I'm going to call with like 100 people. Hey, but so the thing of it is yeah, take your time. Go ahead and do your research with cryptocurrencies. You're going to love it. I mean, again, it is, it's the best performing asset class for many, many years. Like you can go look up those stats yourself. Obviously stocks have taken a big dump, and that is, yeah, just a whole other can of worms right now that I, don't want to open up.
Can I ask you this? And it's not too difficult question, but is it like stocks and shares where you have to watch it religiously every day? Where it takes up all your time. You have to watch it meticulously, or I mean, do you have to really be on the case all the time? I mean, I know there's one of the best investors in the world was a Jewish lady from New York City, and I think she had no friends, she had nothing at all. When she died, she had about $90 million in the bank. But she had no interest outside investing whatsoever. This was sort of kind of a sad life. So is cryptocurrency like that, or can you leave it for a few days and then look at it, or maybe
again, this is definitely a wide open, wide-ended type of thing. But you have, you have the ability for one. I mean, if you're a hermit, and you don't share the access keys. Let's say, for example, like Clarence was talking about before. If you have all this money and you've acquired all of this, these digital assets, because that's what it amounts to, these digital assets, if you aren't sharing them or going to, have someone to pass them on to, in the example that this lady passed away, well, that's a whole different other situation. But it is, you have the ability to easily share, for example, a cryptocurrency wallet with a loved one or someone that you trust to take on either your affairs, for whatever reason. If you're, and again, to answer your question, no, you don't have to. It depends. I mean, I'm pretty religious about cryptocurrency in terms of, staying up and seeing what's going on with the cost of this and the cost of that. But it's not necessary. That's all your own, choice and prerogative.
Right. Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, sorry for the difficult questions, but as I say, I'm a total novice.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Is there anyone else who has, I'm sure there are, we got how many people here on the call still?
Hi, it's Jennifer over here in Texas. I wanted to ask you or Lotto, if you guys, there's quite a few members of our team on the call today. We call ourselves the Cheetahs, by the way. But we're on the call today, and we want to hear from you and or Lotto about the security of the program itself, Forsage. That the fact that it is a smart contract on the blockchain makes it so safe for us. Can you speak to that, please?
Sure. And again, essentially, a smart contract is what it is because smart contracts, and this one in particular, is built on the Ethereum network, right? So now blockchain technology, in and of itself, to keep it simple, is it's encrypted code that is processed by millions of computers, right? That it's what's called decentralized, right? That there isn't one single place where all the data is stored, right? So that the information, again, it's also the processes of encryption are done by millions of computers across the world. So effectively what a blockchain allows for you, in this case, is to have this business that is built on a smart contracts built on the Ethereum network that does give you the peace of mind. Again, once you begin to understand how, in terms of a smart contract being hacked or the code which this contract is built by, that it can't be, for one, it can't be changed or altered or even by the guys who created this particular smart contract. Once they loaded it onto the Ethereum network, right, on the blockchain, they can't change it. They can change the user interface as far as the website, and give little bells and whistles and things like that. But once the code has been set, and these guys worked extremely hard to create this proper matrix system, which Lotto, and he can speak to that probably if he'd like to. But once it's set in place, it doesn't change. Now, I mean, of course, you can do. I don't want to go into a long thing about how and why it can't be hacked, but that's the main thing here in terms of the security, is that you can have peace of mind. For one, none of your money ever goes into the contract anyways, right? So there's never any money. You're not taking money and sending it into a centralized location, right? With a lot of platforms or investments, whatever they are, you got to send your money into that and hope that they're going to grow your money for you. For example, right? Someone who says, "Oh, we're going to trade that $1,000 for you. Just leave it here in our pockets, and then we promise to keep it safe for you." Yeah, no.
Well, thank you. This is great. One more question.
Sure.
And that relates
Sorry,
to the
Lotto, do you have something? Do you have a question, or you're speaking up?
Not question. The second part of answer.
Go ahead, please.
Besides, in addition, we are now moving the Forsage website to decentralized system, IPFS, the Interplanetary File System. So the project works on a smart contract. The site is just a tool for convenience. The Forsage project can work without site, but now the site will be also decentralized, fully protected from hacker attacks.
Right. So you guys go ahead and you can look. Sorry, hang on, but you can look this up yourself. It's called Interplanetary File Systems, IPFS. Okay, just Google that, right. Wikipedia that, and get yourself up to speed. I mean, I had to do the same myself. You know, practice what you preach. And again, this is, as Lotto said, it's a decentralized way to load your website onto effectively a blockchain that will last as long as the blockchain, or as long as, you know, the internet exists in the form that it does across the planet. So
it's
brilliant.
We're working on it right now.
Right. So you have both the internet. I mean, you have both the website and the contract with which, you know, we're all using and working with, Forsage smart contract. We have two things that are working. So even, you know, in the event that, well, that won't happen, the site can't be hacked, because sometimes there is a situation where, you know, there are other smart contracts that the website went down. There was a what they call DDoS attack, right, where they're essentially being the website itself, the user interface is attacked in a way that the members, they can't access the website. You always can actually access the smart contract through what's called Etherscan. Now that's another can of worms that I'm not going to open up right now, but you can always access the smart contract. You know, that's just the user interface or the website is just the, you know, it's how the average and the normal person is going to interact, you know, to do what they need to do.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lotto. Thank you, Tomik.
I also have a question as well.
Sorry, who was that?
Oh, this is Kyle. I actually have a question. With the Forsage, like I, you know, understand you get your 3 people, and I was just wondering, once you receive your 3 people, like, is it like a Ethereum multiplier? Like, does it keep like making money for you, or it depends on how many people you bring in or how much you invest? Like, I get it and I don't get it at the same time.
Well, and I'll let someone else speak on this. I'm sure I've run my mouth. You guys are tired of hearing me talk about this or explain that. Can I
iterate if you guys don't mind?
Yeah, sure. Paulina. Yeah, please.
So I kind of wanted to piggyback off of you guys and speak to Adam, but he kind of has the same question that Adam does. I put in the chat, if you guys didn't see, if it kind of helps you guys. To keep it short and simple, cryptocurrency is a digital currency that you can make and spend and transfer into other currencies like the US dollar or USD, whatever. And this smart contract, Forsage, is basically like a money recycler. When you purchase your bonus boxes, you're compounding your crypto. And when you share with others how to compound their crypto by unlocking the bonus boxes, too, everybody wins. And for those who don't feel comfortable sharing with others, can still generate income from the X4 slot and its 12 bonus boxes, because those are the community spillovers from above, below, from people you don't know. It doesn't matter. You just made some money without even doing anything. And this community pool is that of the whole collective on the smart contract. And if you scroll to the top, and you'll see how many participants are there. Those participants on the smart contract, that's where you get your spillover. It's not from, it's like coming out of thin air. As long as you have your bonus boxes open in X4, in X4 slot, you're good, you know? And when you start seeing results, and if that makes you feel more comfortable seeing your results first before going to somebody, now documentation beats conversation.
Yep. So once you get your bonus thing, or what you just said, right? That's when
Opening
it
up
starts to
the income
compound, or
streams.
does it compound as soon as you invest and start?
Yeah, so each box is double the last, which is the reason why your crypto gets compounded, and by unlocking those. And when you're basically like just sharing that with others. You're not signing people up. I don't like to use that word. You're not signing people up. You're helping someone fund their crypto wallet. You know, just like if whoever told you about this told you had to fund your wallet with $15 or sign up with $15 or whatever, that's not you giving your $15 to them. You are creating a wallet just like you would go to the bank and open up an account or whatever, and they tell you that it's a $25 minimum to open up an account, right? It's the same thing with this, but it's a wallet that's on your phone that you're putting money in, that's in your pocket. We carry our phones with us in our pockets every day. Just think of it as a wallet for your cryptocurrency. So when you fund your wallet with your $15, that allows you to come into the Forsage contract and be able to open the first two bonus boxes in X3 and X4. X3 is for the people who you shared with and referred, or however you want to look at it, you know, your team members. And X4 is the community pool that you make money in, just in case you're not sharing or talking to anybody about it for right now.
Right.
Now the community is just Forsage as a whole.
Hang on a sec, just because the thing of it is I don't, and I'm not meaning to be rude, but of course, if we get into the kind of explanation, of course, the length of our call, because we're already at an hour now. So without having to go into a presentation, so to speak, about how the system works, there is no shortage. If you're already in a team, be sure to get with the person who invited you to this call and have them share with you that particular video that, you know, it rings with you, because Lotto himself, he's done videos, which, you know, very short and concise, a 10-minute video with all the graphics to clearly explain what's going on here, because I'm sure this call is mixed with a variety of people who are at different levels of understanding. So without, you know, us getting too far along about, you know, how X3 works and how X4 works, because it's quite complicated, at least for us to be talking and explaining it to the different people here. So, but however, though, Paulina, I most definitely appreciate you, you know, because again, everyone has a different way of understanding it too, like seeing it as bonus boxes, or you might see them as income streams, or you might see them as a license to a new, you know, income bracket. But yeah, definitely appreciate the explanation for Kyle.
Yes, absolutely. And you know, if you feel like you can't go to someone and talk to someone about this, just think of it like this: you're breaking bread with that person. You're putting money in their pocket, you know. And if that person makes you feel uncomfortable about that, don't feel bad about that. You know, you're trying to help someone else generate wealth. And if they don't have the open mind or the time to hear you, just wait till you have documentation. If you really care about that person and really want to see them win, then just go back to them. But if it's someone you don't know and it's because you think you got to get 3 people or whatever, no, just go by your speed and your comfort. Educate yourself in it. Just like when we get a job, you know, our first day on the job, we don't know nobody there. We don't know nothing or whatever. We just know that we got the set of skills to do the job, you know? So your first day, you kind of stumble around until you get used to your duties. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, you know, you're fresh, you're new to it. But once you learn and get the product knowledge of it, and it's not necessarily a product, but once you get the knowledge of it, you'll feel more comfortable in doing your duties and making your money with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, again, make sure that, as I said before at the beginning of the presentation, become well-versed as much as you're able to. That's the key if you're going to share this with someone, and even for your own self. I'm pretty well-versed and comfortable with passive income platforms, and it took me 4 days with kind of a hard study for the light bulb to go off. So, but is there anyone else who has anything that they'd like to bring to the table, or any questions?
Very quick question.
Sure.
Very quick question. Basically, I know the tax system is different in the UK to the US, but what are the tax implications of cryptocurrency?
It very much varies, and it depends on whether or not you are withdrawing that, because again, there is capital gains. There's a variety of different situations, because if you are withdrawing it, right now, this is the thing about cryptocurrency. It's a very kind of we're in the wild west with respect to the IRS and those different agencies that would want you to report every single dime that you've ever made with cryptocurrency, but they don't have access to the wallets. They don't really know what is happening in terms of what you've withdrawn, because there are, again, I'm not trying to recommend anything illegal. I'm just saying that that's something that you will need to research on your own, because it varies from country to country, because obviously the different tax agencies throughout the world have different policies.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, sure. All right, somebody else? Anyone else? We got 60.
Yes, my name is
Nevin.
Naveen.
Yeah.
Naveen, yes, I am from India, New Delhi, and I joined last week with Forsage through somebody. He just dropped into my WhatsApp, and I liked the plan and started it. And I understand India is a huge market for plans like this, and it's ready to explode. I have quickly 2-3 questions. One is the website does not show any place of origin or a country, though it starts in Russian, so people presume that it starts from Russia. It's legally registered company in Russia or somewhere, because India people are very keen to know where exactly this plan has come from.
Right. Now, Lotto, do you want to answer that in terms of where all the developers are based?
Yes, of course, because most of the cases people share either their LinkedIn contacts. Yes, people bother them also, quite many times, but still.
Here, Lotto is here.
I'd like to know where exactly the complete
one of the developers here, Lotto, is here, and he can explain.
Yeah, I can see that. I've seen him on the Telegram channel also. Though this is my first Zoom call with you people.
So, would you like to answer that, Lotto, as far as the?
We are 4 developers, 3 from Russia and 1 from Ukraine. Lola from Ukraine. But I'm now in Georgia. It is close to Russia. For me, the modern world is very decentralized. I can live everywhere.
I totally agree.
Sometimes I'm living in India. So, and we have no admins. It is full decentralized. There's no admins. We just made this project.
Right. So when you ask Naveen, where
registered enterprise, is it?
There is no. This is not a centralized business, so they don't need a registration. It's open source in terms of the code that this is built with. It is an open source available to everyone. Kind of like the ocean is accessible to everyone who can go and put their toes in it.
Okay, I get the point.
Oh,
the second
may I make a question, please?
Quickly, one more question. Where can I
go
find
ahead.
the support in case of any emergency or a quick advice or a quick concern that comes, we may come across. I've come across 2-3 in last week, but they automatically got resolved. But if in case we need to get in touch with some sort of support function.
Wouldn't that be the Ethereum scan where they can take a look at the smart contract?
No, we can look at the transactions. That's okay. But while placing the ID, certain times some mistake or something goes wrong.
Nevin, support is on the Telegram channel.
Yeah, but that's muted, no?
No, it's not muted.
There are 4-5 channels there. All say international Forsage group.
Right
You
on
need
your
to say the Telegram group from where this Zoom call link has come. I need to follow that one.
It's located on your Forsage website. It's right on
Okay.
your Forsage website. If you go there, you'll see the link to Telegram, and you can click on it and then open up Telegram and be taken to the official chat.
Right.
Perfect. Thank you. That answers my query. Thank you.
Hello. May I make a question, please?
Yeah, is this Jonas? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Jonas from Brazil. Hi, how you doing, my friend? Well,
hey.
I'm very happy because I'm just got a 1 week, and I got a like $247. It's from Brazil. It's a lot of money, and well, I want to know if you'll be able to do like a introducing video with a legend or with the Portuguese, someone speaking Portuguese.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that Lotto, I guess, you know, he'll have to make the decision to bring someone on who can be a presenter that can speak in Portuguese.
We can do that, right? It's not a problem.
Yes, it will be very good.
Oh, okay,
yes.
Great, okay. I will do that. I will contract someone and do that. Okay.
Yeah, you can contact Lotto, and are you already on Telegram, for example?
Yes, I do.
All right, so then if you go to the main official Forsage group, then you can find that he is an admin there, and then message him to try to find someone who's comfortable doing presentations and you know, complete presentations on Zoom, and then I'm sure he would love to have that. I mean, I don't mean to speak for you, Lotto, but as you know, I'm sure he'll tell you the same.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Okay, guys, if I can chime in, I've posted the Telegram address for the group, official group Forsage, on the chat. So please, you can also view this on the main Forsage website. At the bottom, there is a Telegram link. Click on it and it'll bring you to the official group. If you need help, please ask there. We have lots of people there attending to everyone.
Yeah, this is the main thing. I mean, people are overly willing to help each other. This is the beautiful thing about this, there's no I in team, because it really is a team effort. Even if you're not in a specific group or whatever the case is, I mean, you know, people are always helping each other. I mean, so many people within even my own group are very willing to help other people who are not even in our direct team. So yeah, but be sure to, of course, go to the official Telegram group to get the help on specific questions that you might have. Okay, Richard, did you have a question?
No, I'm all right.
Okay, Veg. Yeah, I saw you raise your hand. But
no,
hey,
I can do it mine, yeah.
If there aren't any more questions, because we've gone just a little over an hour now, but by all means, don't be shy. Now is the time to get any comments or things that you might want to say.
I want to say last word.
Yes.
Maybe some of you already saw my video yesterday. Yesterday I shared video. It's called $2.5 million in 2.5 months. Yes, but it is more than 2.5, and right now it is already very old video because right now I'm looking in Etherscan. And I see that total profits of our participants is already more than 18,600. It is more than $3,200,000.
Yeah, let's go ahead. I'll do a quick show everyone and show everyone how pretty that looks when you see the numbers. Or if you want to share, hang on a second here. Let me go in and type.
Put in your ID, Tomek. Let's show everyone how much you got.
Hey, go in a sec.
Hey, John.
Hey, Richard.
All right, and again, it's how much, Lotto? 18,000 and what?
18662.
All right. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. In USD, you have $3,182,990. All right. And this is what has been paid out at Ethereum's current value. Now, an explosive amount of money. And we still haven't hit 2.5 months out yet. I don't think yet. Right.
Yeah.
Have we?
No, we haven't.
Yeah. So powerful. Definitely. Like I told Lotto before, I can't wait to see what the future holds for this project.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but in closing, are there any other comments, questions? Now's the time to ask them.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dominic. Great call.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. It's always a pleasure. I appreciate Lotto allowing me to be the host for this call. And yeah, again, anything that I can do to help, you guys can contact me as well on Telegram. And, of course, I'll give a plug to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is Experience Crypto 24/7, as you see here with my username. And that, yeah, again, it's about.
Where do you advertise this this Zoom event? Is it advertised regularly? Is it a monthly thing, or
You'll find it's always going to be posted. I mean, I post it, throughout all of my network, but Lotto posts it within a few days prior to the event. Lotto will post it himself in the official Forsage Telegram group.
Very soon there will be a timetable of webinars inside. It will be soon.
Okay, so yeah, on the site then yeah, we'll have a recurring. Well, like as Lotto said, you'll have it posted there for the recurring Zoom calls. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check Telegram.
So
okay, everybody.
One other comment, if I could.
Sure.
There seems to be some confusion on the X4, how it works, and you guys did an excellent job on the instructions. If anyone has a question of how the money flows, just read that instructions, and you did a great job in explaining the 2x2. And I thank you for all your help.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Definitely a pleasure. I'm glad that all of this content is available, from very long and extended videos that go into deep explanation to, again, as Lotto did himself, a 10-minute overview that, had all the video editing and all that other stuff that makes it very, a bite-sized nugget for people to get their mind around the whole thing. But I can't stress enough, watch it more than once. Don't think you've got it after you've seen a video one time. You're going to need to watch it and see a PowerPoint and, do that triple time.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, everyone. Hey, so thank you guys for making it to the call. It was my pleasure, and we hope to see you on the next one here soon.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Over and out.
Bye.
Sayonara. Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista.